My name is Richter Riolo, and for this instructional design class, I've been building an English language development ELD course as both the instructional designer and the subject matter expert. My goal, create something that actually meets the students where they're at. In this video, I'll walk through some of the challenges that I faced, the solutions that I came up with, and how the ADDIE instructional model shaped my design process. Spoiler alert, I had to fix a lot of broken stuff. So how was I an SME? I taught ELD last year at a middle school with no prior teaching experience. The ELD teacher I replaced had quit. She burned out, actually, because she had no support from the admin and gave up on the students. I was asked to step in out of desperation. A man with only a bachelor's degree and no endorsement. And stepping in turned into stepping up. My compassion and empathy led me to advocate for my students' access to learning. Like, how are they supposed to take the state-mandated English language proficiency assessment without working Chromebooks or headphones with working microphones? I became a squeaky wheel. And while that didn't make me any friends with the admin, the outcome was what mattered. My class had the highest passing rate among middle school students in the district, 11 out of 26. If you know math, that's 40%. So let's fast forward to now. A local high school ELD teacher had to leave the country due to rising political xenophobia that's been occurring. And once again, I was asked to step in, but this time, I came prepared. There were some design challenges that I encountered. Oh yes. Canvas modules were poorly built or non-functioning. The content was way too advanced for these newcomers. These kids had just come to the United States from their home countries, and everything was entirely in English. Accessibility, okay, their computers and microphones and headphones were working, but that was about it. The digital world was against me in one crucial situation. I had 5 students that spoke Karen, which is unable to be translated by Google. It's too remote of a language from Thailand. But all my other students had the benefit of translation services, except for those 5. So what were my successes? I rebuilt the Learner's Canvas modules with clear headers and simplified layouts. I created bilingual instruction materials in Spanish, Ukrainian, Haitian Creole, Swahili, Russian. I might be forgetting one. I used Google Translate to its fullest extent in almost every interaction to ensure comprehension. I rewrote assessments to measure language skills, not math or random trivia. How did ADDIE, the instructional model ADDIE, help me survive the chaos? Well, it became my toolkit, ADDIE. Let's start with analysis. I saw that multilingual students had vastly different literacy levels, and the course ignored that. Design. I mapped real outcomes and scaffolded, I hate that word, supports in multiple languages. Development. I built new modules, added visuals, and created video aids. Implementation. I tested my lessons with students in real time. Evaluation. I tracked changes and saw a noticeable jump in understanding and engagement. ADDIE kept me from throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. It gave me a process to clean up the disorganization and build something meaningful. Being my own subject matter expert, being both SME and designer, meant I brought empathy and expertise. I had lived through what these students were already experiencing. I had to check my own biases, constantly asking, am I designing for all learners or just based on what worked for me last year, maybe it'll work for me this year? And I learned the value of documentation. No, I'll remember that later. Everything had to be written, clear, and accessible. And sure, I couldn't pass the blame if something didn't work. It was on me. But that also gave me creative freedom. I wasn't guessing. I knew what these students needed because I was once in their shoes. I had slipped through the cracks when I was a little boy and being forced to move to a new country. I wasn't going to let that happen to them. This project reminded me that instructional design isn't just about pretty slides or fancy modules. It's about equity. It's about making sure every student can access the learning no matter their background, no matter their ability, no matter their language. Whether I'm designing for high schoolers or adults, my work has to reflect real lives and cultural recognition. And when the system fails, we don't patch it. We can recognize what needs changing, and with ADDIE used as an instructional model, we can rebuild it into something better. Thank you for tolerating my voice. I'm still not over this. It's now been 6 weeks or 7 weeks. This has been my final essay for my instructional design course. Thank you, Professor.